Dr. Kudzanai Vere is an award-winning, internationally acclaimed transformational speaker in the field of entrepreneurship and financial literacy, and he joins us this week on New Money. My name is Grace Malahleki. Welcome, Dr. Vere.
Thank you so much, Grace, for having me around.
Now, to start off with, you are a business coach. What inspired you to go into that field, and what drives your passion to help entrepreneurs?
Thank you so much for that powerful question. I think that then calls for me to give you a little bit of my background as a person. You know, I'm someone who did not go to school in the formal or normal way. When I finished my ordinary level, I then got employed by Red Star wholesalers in Nyanga, where we were obviously distributing groceries to the generality of the Nyanga populace. So the people that we were dealing with were business people, those that were into retail, and we would see their struggles. Obviously some failing to pay their debts, or we used to have accounts for them. At times you visit their shop, at one point the shop will be very full. You visit them the next time, the shop is now empty. So I was studying all those trends and stuff. So arguably, I could have been the youngest branch manager to run a blue chip company in Zimbabwe at age 22 years. Wow. So I gained a lot of experience dealing with business people, so to speak, and as well as acquiring the necessary experience and expertise in how to run businesses, gaining that from the corporate world that I have been. And as well, I think in 2004, I registered my own company, Kudfort Enterprises, which was then into freeze-it making, manufacturing in Nyanga. So it was a practical experience, manufacturing freezes and making sure that they are distributed to the Nyanga community. And what might surprise you as well is I was working for Red Star wholesalers then, and there was a big company that was in Mutare called ACP. People started rebelling against their freezes, now wanting to buy from my own product that we were manufacturing then for one reason. You know, at times as companies grow, they then neglect the principles that made them where they are. For instance, in the freeze-it and beverages manufacturing business, some may then be substituting sugar for sweetener, which doesn't taste well in a drink. So we were just sticking to coming up with a quality product. So that interaction, I left Red Star, I started my own things. I was trapped back also into formal employment. Then I said no in 2017 to really focus on my business, which had grown then. And that interaction with the various stakeholders across the industries that I worked for inspired me into becoming a coach, and also looking at Africa free continental trade, that eventually borders will be opened and free trade will be allowed. So what will these African countries and people from my country, Zimbabwe, be selling or exporting to these neighboring countries? Do we have the mental disposition to really utilize our resource endowments that we have into sustainable businesses? Mm-hmm. And the quickest answer is no, we are not capacitated yet, and yet we do have everything that we need to start, support, sustain, and succeed in everything that we start.
All right. You mentioned that whilst you were formally employed, you had a chance to interact with entrepreneurs, and I'm in a position to know that you are also working now formally with entrepreneurs. You have started your own organization which deals directly with those with businesses that are coming up, with businesses that are not so yet grounded in terms of years. In all that experience, what are some of the common challenges that you see entrepreneurs facing, and how does your organization come and help them out?
Thank you so much, Grace, for that question. You know, what normally happens is, you know, I normally tell people that entrepreneurship is not a walk in the park. And in Zimbabwe and Africa in general, we don't really understand what entrepreneurship is. That's the reason why we have few entrepreneurs around, because anyone who starts a tuck shop close to mine is called an entrepreneur. They are putting a tag entrepreneur. Anyone who copies what someone is doing, we call them entrepreneurs, and yet it's not. A real entrepreneurship is looking at or identifying socio-economic challenges people are facing, and coin a unique and innovative solution to solve those challenges in the form of a sustainable business. So what underscores entrepreneurship now is the innovation and uniqueness. And the first challenge, coming to your question now, that people face is coming up or investing in poor business ideas. When you come up with your business idea, you must subject it to various tests, the ideation process. And the identification of challenges, make sure that you are identifying challenges which you can convert into a sustainable business. You know, the mind can process 1 million of ideas per minute, but not every business idea that comes to mind is worth investing in. When I was still in Nyanga, I grew up in Nyanga, rural Nyanga, Komagaya. And my mother used to say, when clouds rise into the sky, they will then say, this is a rain-making cloud. Let's pick our horse and go home. Why? Because it had certain traits in it. And going back to our geography, the cumulonimbus kind of clouds are the clouds that have the rain. And nimbus in that word stands for H2O. So we've got the cumulonimbus, the nimbus stratus. And we have the stratus, those that rises high up in the sky. They are not rain-making clouds. So not every business idea that crosses your mind is worth investing in. You need to really subject them to some thorough diagnosis and test before you. This is the reason why you see when you start a tomato business, one will just jump into it because they are seeing you making money. They see the other one doing mabero, they jump into that as well because they are seeing them making money. But there are certain things that they know that you don't know. That when you jump into that business, it will not automatically tick and kick as you expect it to do. Why? Because there are certain things that they learned that you are not privy to. So the ideation process, how your business is birthed, determines how far it will then go. The second issue now is, I normally tell people that, especially those that are coming up, and that the word business itself, Grace, has 3 S's. They are not there by default, but by design. The first S talks about your strategy as a business. Whenever you're getting into a business, make sure that your ideas and your plan test the beauty of ink and paper before you actualize them. In technical graphics language, they are now calling some drawings, some 3D drawings of a house or a building that they want to build, which if you look at a 3D design, you really see the whole building as it would come out, cars parked there nicely. And if you get into a realistic outlook of what it would ultimately become. This is exactly what you need to do when you want to come up with your business. Let's allow our mind to wander into the future and really see what our business will look like when we eventually get to it. So that one now, we are quick to getting into doing things without really putting it down on paper. Criticize it on paper, give a friend to look into it, an expert to look into it, so that they can also give you some input into whatever business idea and concept that would have come up with. So that the strategy now obviously talks about your game plan. Obviously, when you are getting into a business, the business that you're getting into, there are a lot of players already in that business. So what's your unique value proposition? What do you think is going to stimulate people's minds to want to deal with you and leave the others who are already in that kind of space? So you need to come up with a game plan which is thoroughly thought, which you personally are convinced that no, this one I will definitely win. So the second S on the word business talks about the structure. The structure. So these are some of the challenges that those that are starting businesses first, and they disregard these S's to their detriment. When you're starting a business, obviously you start as a person alone, without any employee.
Yes.
But eventually you would want to add one or two people, the one who will then be by the till, the one who will also be doing the other things, one who will be buying for you as you grow your business, can be everywhere at the same time. So your structure now is key. How do you then come up with that structure? Oftentimes we go the easy way out. Phoning Sekuru Kumusha. I now have a business and we are growing, and Mzukuru from elsewhere come and assist me in the name of saving money. But you are putting them to procure for you. Do they know or understand procurement? Do they understand logistics and supply? You take this other person and put them in your accounts department. They don't have any know-how. They're not financially literate because they're just but a relative that you took from heading cattle at home. So your structure must be wired well. You need to really put the right people in the right positions. What we normally then do is, once you take Sekuru or your grandma or grandpa or cousin from the rural areas, you then say everything is okay because there is my relative. You then neglect the systems and stuff. They will not take money from my business because they really understand where we come from and their relatives. So I'm now telling the viewers outside there and those that are following this program that employing relatives is never a substitute for internal controls and systems. Mind you, these relatives are also human beings capable of being manipulated by their by their friends. Especially this boy or this man, they will then have a girlfriend who they passes by, oh, you want sugar, no sugar at home.
There you are.
There you are, you can, yeah. You want money for airtime, and you are not there. So the third S talks about the systems now. Most small and medium enterprises fall short of systems that are operational. You ask them how much money did you raise or made the previous month. They don't know. Give us your financial statements. They don't even have. How were you trading last year? They don't know. So this is a cancer. You must be able to see your graphs, your trends, how you are faring from the time you started to where you are now. Your financials are just like a dashboard, which tells you that the expenses are now too much than the top line. Our gross profit has gone under and down. If you've got financials, you then start to see, okay, why are our expenses too much? You then see, okay, we had a lot of breakdowns on our track. Why? Because I think it had spent maybe a year without being serviced. Obviously, the breakdowns will be many on the road and they'll cost you dearly. And when we talk of systems now, we're also talking of internal controls. These are the safeguards now, which make sure that your value is held within your organization. You are not losing out in terms of, obviously, due to various leakages like pilferages, like shrinkages and stuff. So these small and medium enterprises, they need assistance in that regard to be able to put internal controls that works. Okay.
Dr. Vere, I'll have to cut you short there. Viewers, I am talking to Dr. Vere, who is an acclaimed entrepreneurship coach and financial literacy coach. As you heard it for yourselves, as you are hearing for yourselves, he has a vast wealth of experience in that regard. Stay tuned as we get deeper into how you can run and manage your business successfully as an entrepreneur here in Zimbabwe.